Chapter 21. Lily. As I watch Sarah being led out of the office, I wonder if it's over, but my gut tells me it's not. Sarah killing Claire and Carrie could make sense, I suppose, but it doesn't feel right. There are still things I can't explain. "Can you believe it?" Mark whispers from my left. I turn to him and shrug. You knew her better than I did, but no. "Me either, but I don't know if I can keep working here. This is too much." Mark shakes his head disgustedly and wanders back to his office. I'm not planning on sticking around much longer, but I understand his concern. This little company has suffered a lot recently. As I step back into my office, my cell vibrates in my pocket. The call is one I've been waiting for since I got here. "Do you have something for me?" I shut the door to make sure no one hears the conversation and settle into my chair. "I do indeed," he says, and rattles off his information. At first, I'm simply nodding as he speaks, but then he says something that causes me to lean forward in the chair. "Are you sure?" I ask. "I'm positive. I'll send over a copy of the last email and a transcription of the voicemail I found." "Thank you." I end the call and stare at the phone. This makes a lot more sense, but I have to make sure it's correct. I trust him. However, I have to be certain. Justice is important, if it's delivered correctly. A tap at my door pulls my attention from the documents on my computer. I motion for Mark to enter. "You want to join us for a drink tonight?" Mark asks. "With everything going on, a few of us feel the need to let off some steam." "I wish I could," I say apologetically, "but I have some work to finish here and then an appointment that I can't miss. Maybe next time." "Sure," he says with a nod, and a tone that says he probably knows there won't be a next time. "Don't work too hard, though. I guess we've all realized that life can be too short." I think about how some people earn a shorter life and others have it snatched from them. I'll keep that in mind. He walks away and I return my focus to the screen. I click on the email and scan the contents. True to his word, it's everything I need. Every T crossed and every I dotted. My gaze drops to the bottom drawer, where the final item lies waiting for the right time. It will be tonight if I can manage to get her alone. But that requires patience, and mine is nearing its end. I pretend to be busy until the hum of business lessens, and there is nothing but silence left in the building. I open the drawer and pull the item out, checking to make sure it's ready before placing it in my pocket. Most of the lights in the office are out, creating long shadows and pockets of darkness. But that suits my purpose. Darkness is my friend in this case. I make my way toward Janice's office, hoping that her light is still on. My luck holds, and I find her at her desk, probably tallying up how much she stands to make with Sarah out of the way. She looks up when I enter, and her eyes widen slightly. "Lily, what are you still doing here? Everyone else went home for the evening." I smile and step inside. "I was just finishing up a project. I wanted to see how you're doing. It must be hard losing 2 employees and seeing your mentor arrested for their murders." She nods, but her eyes skirt to the side. "Yes, it's been quite a day. I've been working on damage control with our clients, trying to get ahead before the news breaks and they all quit on us." "I'm sure that's proving difficult. Can I get you a drink? Coffee? Tea?" Janice looks at me and tilts her head as if trying to figure out if I have an ulterior motive. "No, that's okay. I think I'll probably be heading home soon anyway. I'll just get something there. but thank you for the offer. I step a little closer. Are you afraid I might put something in it like you did with Sarah's drinks? Her tells are subtle, but I see her mouth part and her body stiffen ever so slightly. I don't know what you mean. No. I'm enjoying watching her squirm. Are you trying to tell me the white powder you've been putting in her drink isn't responsible for her recent odd behavior? This time it's the vein in her neck that bulges just slightly. What would you know about her behavior? You've only been here a few weeks. I nod and take another step toward her. Her eyes slide to the door behind me, but I know that I will reach her before she reaches the door. That is true, but I watch, I listen, and I had my sister's diary to read. Her brow furrows. Your sister? This time I play dumb and place my hand on my chest as if I'm shocked. Oh, you mean you didn't know? I suppose it's an easy mistake since we didn't have the same last name. Claire Cooper was my sister, and she didn't die of an overdose. A tiny flicker of fear alights in Janice's eyes, but she tries to remain brave and stoic. We all know that. Sarah killed Claire. That's why the police arrested her today. Well, that's what you wanted them to think. But I know something the police don't know. I know that the last email Claire sent was to you asking for a meeting. I also know what that email said. She presses her lips together and grips the chair tightly. I think I might have made a mistake in hiring you so quickly. I'm afraid with all the issues happening currently that I'm going to have to let you go. This company can't handle any more bad press. I chuckle and shake my head. That is probably true, especially with you stealing from it. What's that for anyway? Are you planning to run away with someone? Destroy the company and start something fresh on your own? Or was it plain spite and jealousy? Again, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same issue that Claire wanted to speak to you about. It's probably the same issue that Carrie brought to you before her death, the one that I showed her. Her eyes glance to the doorway behind me again, and I know she's trying to calculate if she's fast enough to get by me, but I know she doesn't have a chance. I'm going to give you 2 choices, she says, trying to sound brave. You can leave on your own and never come back, or I'm going to call the cops and have you removed. I tap my chin with my finger as if I'm considering her offer, but then I shake my head. Actually, you're not. I pull a small black device from my pocket. Do you know what this is? It's a cell jammer, so I don't think you'll be making any calls. Her face relaxes, and a small smile plays across her face. That may stop cell calls, but you probably didn't know we have an emergency button equipped with our phone lines. So I'll give you one more chance to walk out of here. I think I'm going to have to decline your offer. You see, I did know about the emergency button, so I cut the phone lines. I'm afraid you won't be reaching anyone that way either. The fear on her face is evident this time. Even if she doesn't believe I'm dangerous, she clearly believes I'm delusional, and delusional people are often threats. Her eyes flicker to the side of her desk, and I realize she must have some weapon hidden in a drawer, which means I don't have much time. So while she's distracted, I pull the syringe from my pocket, lunge across the room, and stab her in the thigh, pushing the plunger as I do. What did you just do? She asks, looking down at her leg in horror. I wonder briefly what she's feeling. Can she feel the poison circulating through her body yet? Is it hot? Cold? I shake my head. I will not go down that road. It doesn't matter what she feels, only that she pays for what she did. I injected you with insulin, I say, as if this should be obvious. In a few moments, you'll begin to feel dizzy and confused. You might even experience seizures or fatigue. These are all signs that your blood sugar is dropping and you're going into hypoglycemia. But don't worry, within a few hours you'll be dead. You're crazy, she says, shuffling away from me, but her feet are unsteady, and I can see the dizziness is already kicking in. No, not crazy, I say. Loyal, that is the word you're looking for. Unlike you, I don't kill people who get in my way. She croaks out a hoarse laugh. You're trying to kill me? But not because you got in my way. I am simply delivering justice. Justice for Claire and for Carrie. You took 2 lives, so now I'm taking yours. You won't get away with this, she says, but her threat holds little weight as her body begins to shake and sweat breaks out on her brow. You might be right. I lean against the doorframe so casually that if anyone did see us, they would think we were having a nice conversation. Maybe one day I'll get caught, but I haven't yet, and I have no plans to get caught today. Her eyes grow large. You've done this before? Only when I have to. She drops to the floor as a seizure takes over her body. It's a little hard to watch, but then I remember what she did to Claire and to Carrie. I check my watch. It won't be long now. When she falls unconscious and stops moving, save for the soft rise and fall of her chest, I decide it's safe enough to leave. After all, no one else is in the building, so as long as no one enters within half an hour of me leaving, Janice should be beyond medical help by the time anyone finds her. Still, I keep one ear tuned to her office and any noises as I return to mine and pack up the few things I brought my first day on the job. My eyes glisten with melancholy as I pick up Claire's pencils and put them back in a case. Though we both loved art, she was always better than I was, and she hated when I used her supplies. Somehow, I think she'll forgive me this time. When everything is packed, I take a second to gaze around the office one final time. Though I never saw Claire here, I can picture her at the desk sketching away. It's been where I've felt closest to her the last few days, and I'm almost sad that I have to leave. I'm sorry, I whispered to the empty office. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I pull out the USB that contains the virus I purchased from the guy who hacked into Claire's data for me. As I watch the screens glitch out and pixelate, I wish I could thank him in person, but I don't even know what he looks like. Everything was handled through mail or phone, and I know him only as the Wizard. Positive that any trace of tonight is gone from any security footage, I check on Janice. Still unmoved, one last time before I head downstairs. I exit the building and head to my car. Once inside, I pull out the envelope and head to the nearest post office box. But when I arrive, I pause. Sarah didn't kill anyone, but she's not entirely innocent either. Any woman who would have an affair with her best friend's husband is not a good person, and the world would probably be a better place with her in prison. Still, she didn't wrong me, and if I don't send what I have, then I'm complicit as well. Besides, I don't even know if it will be enough to clear Sarah's name, especially since I won't be around to verify the authenticity of the documents I'm sending. Hopefully, someone there will be able to do that. Before I can rethink it, I drop the envelope in and drive away. As I pull into the parking lot of the hotel, my cell phone rings. I expect it to be Jared, wondering where I am and when I'm coming home. After all, I haven't talked to him in days, though I did send him a text telling him it was taking longer than I expected to put Claire's affairs in order. He'd responded that he'd understood, and that had been the end of the conversation. But this number doesn't belong to Jared. It's a local number. Hello?
Mrs. Williams, it's Officer Ramirez.
Though I've been expecting this call, I try to sound surprised. Officer Ramirez? Does that mean you found something about Claire?
We did. I wanted to let you know that fingerprints were found on the bottle that didn't belong to your sister, and that we've taken a suspect into custody. I'm sorry that we were mistaken.
I ignore his apology and ask the question anyone in my position would, even though I already know the answer. Who was it? He sighs on the other end.
I'm afraid I can't release that information at the moment, as this is still an active investigation, but I will keep you informed as the case progresses.
Thank you, officer. I appreciate that. Of course, I won't need details. I already know how this case ends, but it will allow me to follow Sarah's fate. He apologizes once more and we end the call. Then I head into the hotel to gather my things and settle the bill. With that done, I make a quick stop at a store before heading home. Along the way, I pull into a deserted campground and remove the curly wig I've been wearing. Then I pull out the license and paperwork for Lily Stevens and toss them into a pile. From the bag I received from the store, I pull out the lighter fluid and squirt it on the pile. I've enjoyed this persona, and I'm a little sad to see her go, but it was for a good cause. With the smell of the lighter fluid permeating the air, I light a match and toss it into the pile. The flame jumps as it consumes the lighter fluid, and I take a step back and watch Lily Stevens disappear for good. When the pile is nothing but piles of gray ash, I return to my car, ready to turn the page on this chapter and return to my life. To Madison Williams, grieving sister and orphan. To Jared, who better never do me wrong.